Alright, let's do a glow effect like this guy, but better. Gonna need some paints. And a dry brush. And an airbrush. Come on. Got a little hung up there. And an airbrush. This is oil paint. See? Oil paint. An odorless thinner. And this is white paint. And that's a dry brush. I'm going to use that dry brush to put paint on the coil. And around the coil. In a dry brushing fashion. See? A little tickle here and there. And then, because I got the dry brush out already, I'm just going to load it with paint and use it like a real fat brush. And just paint in the rest of that coil. See? So pretty. So nice. Here's the other one. If you have an airbrush, just get some airbrush white paint, or thin down the white paint you already have. Spray it on that sucker. Like that. See, I'm going with the direction. One to the front, one to the side. And like kind of shooting it out like it's emanating light. Yeah, these are the fluorescent paints I'm going to use. They're okay. I don't have a turquoise. So I'm going to do a blue, and I'm going to mix blue and green together and do a turquoise with it, which you can see here is the turquoise. So you paint it on the white, and I airbrushed the blue on the blue, and I painted the green turquoise on the dry brushed one. See? Again, oil paint, odorless thinner, mix it up, dab it in the corners. It's okay if you overdo it. You just dry off your brush, wick it out with the dry tip of the brush. Just fill up the little gaps. Oh, we'll zoom in. Nice. Yeah. See? Little tab. Little dab there. Wick it out. It looks good. Now, the hottest part is going to be the brightest. And that's why it looks like the hottest part is emanating from the core of that plasma glow. So, you take some dark, by you I mean I, take some dark paint. It looks like I'm using Imperial Navy on this one. And I just kind of fade it between the black and the brightness. There's some spill there. What I'm trying to do is create a nice amount of contrast, meaning light to dark. I picked this Azure color. It's not dark enough. So you'll see later. There we go. Scarab green. Came in, darkened it up a little. That's way better. Really trying to put dark colors right next to light colors, because when light's shining in your eyes, it kind of washes out everything and makes it look dark. I'm taking a medium blue here, not quite as dark as the navy color. And I'm just touching the ridges on that plasma coil, because those are going to be a little bit cooler, so they're going to be a little darker than the actual core of it, the center of it. You don't have to go as dark as I did. In fact, if you go a little bit lighter than I did here, it'll look like it's glowing even more. I may have gone a little too dark there. That's okay. Now I'm going back in with some white paint, going around the corners, just touching it up again with making it look a little bit brighter. I'm going to do it again at the end. But this is showing some of that core light spilling out. I didn't think it was bright enough after I flooded it with some fluorescent. So this is just touching it up a little bit of white here and there. And then now we're going to add the real contrast. This is some black paint. I don't care what black paint you use. Just use some black paint. It should go up and touch that darker color blue or green that you use. So Scarab Green or Imperial Navy. And cover up any kind of spillage, because remember, light goes in a straight line. It doesn't curve. It doesn't go around corners. So it's not going to come from that coil, curve around the front nose piece of that pistol, and be on the front of the gun. Just one more little dab of white paint on the edges. Really trying to get the white right next to the darker colors. And then, unfortunately, the camera didn't pick it up, but I did one more really light flood of the oil wash, and that's what it looks like. So you can paint the rest of the bolter or the plasma gun however you see fit, but that's a plasma glow. All right. Follow along if you want to see how I do more things.